All right, so here we are. We want to subtract whole numbers. Now, subtracting is basically undoing addition, but with that, you have to understand that some things kind of do work backwards. Also, when we do this, we cannot subtract a large number from a smaller number. All right, cannot. Positives and negatives we do not want to hit right now because those things require a manipulation. So let's go ahead. Let's get me back here. I'm going to do a couple of examples. So let's say I have 14 and I'm going to take away 7 or subtract 7. All right. If I look just at my ones and covered this guy up, I cannot subtract 7 from 4. All right. Now, most of you won't do this, and this is fine because there are some shortcuts and some understandings that you have here. Okay. But I cannot take 7 from 4. If I have $4 in my wallet and you steal my wallet, you're not getting $7. You will not put an IOU or you owe me money and put it back in my wallet and so you can get $3 later. That's not how it works. Okay. So what has to happen is the ones is not big enough. I have to go over here to the tens and I have to borrow. So instead of carrying in addition, I am borrowing. So I'm borrowing 10 back into my fours place or my ones place, which makes this 14. And now I can subtract 7 from 14, which does give me 7. All right. And now that may not make a lot of sense right there, but let's go ahead and try a little larger number here. And like we did with addition, let's take a number 301,214. Not sure why that line's doing that. It's kind of bothering me some. Let's subtract 17,516. Okay, as I start to look at this number, I'm starting to notice when my place values start to line up, I'm kind of going to have to borrow a lot. But it's very difficult to do from right here. So here again, left to right is top to bottom. So I'm going to manipulate that. I'm going to go 301,214. I'm going to subtract and make sure everything lines up. My place values, the 17, the comma, the hundreds, tens, and ones place all line up. And now I look at them from right to left and say, I can't subtract 6 from 4. 1 from 1 I can do. 5 from 2 I can't do. 7 from 1 I can't do. 1 from 0 I can't do. But 0 from 3 I can. And 300,000 is a much larger number than 17. So realistically I can do this. I cannot flip those guys. I cannot subtract 300,000 from 17. I will not pay you over $275,000. Okay, so if we go back, the 4 is not big enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow. So this guy goes down to 0. That brings me 10 plus 4. It's 14 over here. And now I can subtract 6 from it, making it 8. Now, if I come back over here, I'm subtracting 1 from 0. I can't do that. So let's, instead of getting all of our colors together here, I'm going to come back to the one in front of it because this is my tens place. 100 is 10 times bigger. So this guy goes down by 1. And when it comes back, this becomes 10. 1 from 10 is 9. Cannot subtract 5 from 1. So the 1 here goes down to 0. This guy gets added 10 to it, which makes it 11. 5 from 11 becomes 6. Cannot do that guy. So this guy, which was actually 10, right, becomes, well, 9. Why does it become 9? Well, it really doesn't. I have to go all the way over to here to help out this time. This guy becomes 2. That guy becomes 10. Whoops, I probably should have went with the green number, right? This guy was the next available help. This guy becomes 10, but 10 doesn't work to help here, so I've got to go to 9. which makes this guy 10, because when I subtract this down, a group of 10s comes back to this ones place, and 10 becomes that number. Here it becomes 7 from 10, which is 3, 1 from 9, which is 8, and 0 from 2, which is 2. Now, if you recall back, I told you we couldn't switch those guys, and I real quickly made an estimate about what was happening here, and I said about $275,000 you're not getting from me. That number is really not all that far off from about $275,000. If you want to make sure that your work is right, you can always do it. I just add those two guys back together. It will get me the original number. Add those two guys back together. It gets me the original number. All right. If you have any questions, go back and refer to your book and reference this video as many times as you need.